Winter 2021 was a great season for anime. Can you believe it? How long has it been? Now the people are wondering, is spring 2021 just as good? Well, stick around till the end of the video and maybe we can answer no. The answer is no. Nothing will ever be as good as Winter 2021. However, that doesn't mean that this season is bad. Yes, we may not have Attack on Titan this season, but what we do have is what Wit Studio has been working on instead of Attack on Titan, along with many other promising series. Instead of talking about a sequel and you skipping that part because you didn't watch the prequel, I'll actually go over the entire series instead. This way you can judge whether or not you may want to start the series. Anyway, this is a long video, no more stalling. Let's just start with the best, shall we? Vivy Fluorite Song doesn't really roll off the tongue, does it? Is an original anime made by Wit Studio, mostly known for making season 1 to 3 of Attack on Titan, and written by Nagatsuki Tappe, the creator of ReZero. With Wit Studio refusing to make the final season of Attack on Titan and deciding to work on The Great Pretender previously and now Vivy, both of which are anime originals, I'd say it's pretty obvious which direction the studio has decided to take. Which is a direction not many studios follow, for very good reasons. A quick look at my anime list will show that at the time of writing this, Vivy barely has 50,000 members, while something like Nagatoro-san, which I will get to later, already has close to 200,000 members. Deciding to make an anime original story means that you quite literally have to start from zero. You don't have the luxury of starting with an already established fanbase, and no matter the big names attached to the project, you can never fully make up for that difference. Which is why I respect Wit Studio as they continue to walk this risky path in their pursuit of true creativity. Anyway, Vivy. Vivy is an AI tasked with bringing smiles to people's faces through singing. At first I thought this would be your typical AI learns how to be human story, but not even 1 minute in, Tappe shows his true colors and has everyone die. 1 episode later and we are fighting terrorists. In this world, humans and AI live in harmony. Until they don't. 100 years later, a war has begun and many lose their lives. One AI goes back in time to try and correct history and prevent the war. Vivy is not a combat AI and not suited for the job, but she gets roped into it regardless, and so begins her 100-year journey. I'm gonna make a bold prediction and say that Vivy will close the gap sooner or later, and that Vivy will be the anime of the season. At least, that's what I wrote on the 9th of April. Never could I have expected that something even better might just show up. To Your Eternity is a series written by Oima Yoshitoki, the author of A Silent Voice, which by the way are the only 2 series she has ever written. The first episode of To Your Eternity is just fantastic in every way. The entire thing just feels like a very good short film. And if this would have been the end of the entire series, I still would have been satisfied with how it ended. To Your Eternity is the story of an immortal being that can take the shape of the things around it. It started off as a ball, then turns into a rock, and after a very long time turns into a wolf. The wolf goes on to meet a boy, and together they go on a journey. A journey to where? Well, wouldn't you like to know, huh? Maybe you should watch and find out. I'm not fucking asking anymore, you will fucking watch this shit or I'll fucking... To Your Eternity has serious potential to be anime of the year. I know exactly what you've been thinking lately. Cute anime girls doing this, cute anime girls doing that. Man, I'm getting kinda tired of cute girls. Hey, I get you, man. So, I present to you Hot Anime Man. Fruits Basket is definitely one of, if not the best romance or drama anime in recent years, and even though it has supernatural elements, it still stands out as one of the most down-to-earth human stories that I've watched in the past 4 years. And that might not seem like such a big deal, but trust me, I have consistently watched every single decent show starting from winter 2017. Every single character in this series is just fantastically written. They're all layered characters with their own sets of goals, flaws, and mental issues. Lots of mental issues. Fruits Basket is technically a shoujo anime, meaning that it is mostly targeted towards girls, but in reality all it really means is that there are more male characters than female characters, and that's not necessarily a bad thing either, since we all know that it takes a real man to appreciate a good man. Watch this if you are gay, or a girl, but you know, girls don't really watch my videos. They are busy watching redo of Healer, apparently. I Shaved, Then Brought a High School Girl Home is yet another show with yet another seriously misleading title. I mean, if you just read the title, you'd think this guy, you know, shaved and then brought a high school girl home, but that's actually not what happens at all. The truth is, he brings a high school girl home and then decides to shave. That being said, this is just another case of blatant clickbait in an attempt to draw more attention. I mean, I guess a title like "Help, I accidentally adopted a homeless high schooler and don't know what color smartphone to buy" doesn't really catch your eye, does it? I hate how that actually does sound like a shitty light novel. This is how they get you. They draw you in by making you think this will be some hardcore degenerate shit, only to slap you in the face with a wholesome father-daughter relationship. The main character may claim to not be a good person, but let's be honest. This guy is not just a king. He's the entire castle. I'm actually fairly certain this show will turn out to be rather wholesome, with the whole Guardian thing turning out to be a good learning experience for the two of them. Despite the questionable name, it's actually pretty wholesome and one of the better new anime this season. You know what's not wholesome? It's too sick to call this love or Koikimo. Something about a 27-year-old man repeatedly hitting on a teenager and then being happy when getting verbally abused doesn't sit right to me for some reason. Then again, I'm not the target demographic for this series. If all of these shitty harem anime are popular because it appeals to the male fantasy, then I guess having a mature, tall, handsome, rich man hit on you non-stop could be part of the female fantasy. I don't know though. If any girl could confirm or deny this in the comments, that would be nice. No rush, take your time. Just tell me after you finish your daily redo of Healer rewatch. Also, this might just be me, but something about the voice acting just feels off in this show. Like the entire thing wasn't recorded in a studio, but through a Discord call instead. Then again, maybe that was intentional. Maybe that's what they were going for all along. I mean, I can't think of anything more Discord-like than a grown man hitting on a minor. It's shit. Eden Zero is a new shonen series written by Higehiro, the creator of critically acclaimed series like Fairy Tail. Don't get it twisted though, this is not Fairy Tail. Remember, no matter how much it may look like Fairy Tail, this is not Fairy Tail. Remember, no matter how much it may feel like Fairy Tail, this is not Fairy Tail. No matter how much— oh my fucking god, this is just fucking Fairy Tail, isn't it? Watch if you like Fairy Tail, I guess. Nomad Megalo Box 2 is a sequel to 2018's Megalo Box, which in turn is Ashita no Joe's 50th anniversary commemoration project. Ashita no Joe is a very old boxing series, and that's why Megalo Box has done everything possible to make absolutely sure it gives off this gritty, old school vibe. They did this by designing the characters to more closely resemble something old, like Cowboy Bebop. And I kid you not, by intentionally downscaling the finished project to 480p, only to upscale it back to 1080p, just to lose detail. Megalo Box is the story of Gearless Joe, a broke underground boxer who faces dripped out boxers with bionicle arms with nothing more than his gloves, his scales, and his fake ass Jordans. As you can imagine, getting hit by one of these bad boys basically means game over. But remember, the only thing in this world that hits harder than motor powered boxers is this fucking soundtrack. Megalo Box is the ultimate underdog story. Some say it's too straightforward. Some say it's too predictable. But regardless, it is hype as shit, and that's all that really matters. Definitely worth a watch. Gokushufudou, or The Way of the House Husband, is a Netflix original anime adaptation of one of my favorite manga of all time, and I was very excited to watch this. Turns out, the Netflix adaptation joke isn't just a joke. I've joked before saying that Food Wars is nothing but a PowerPoint presentation of colored manga panels, but this is literally just a PowerPoint presentation of colored manga panels. The creators of this anime must have been very big fans of the original manga. It's so incredibly faithful to the manga that if a panel is not wide or big enough to fit a 16:9 aspect ratio, it just doesn't bother. It's just really bad. There is barely any movement whatsoever. It just one for one follows the manga and somehow still manages to ruin the timing of the jokes. It's not something that the voice acting or color can make up for. I hate to be that guy, but do yourself a favor and read the manga instead. Zombieland Saga is back for its second season, and I don't think I have to say too much to be honest. It's a relatively popular idol anime, with its quirk being that the idols are already dead. It's just a solid idol anime, and if you like that, you'll probably like this too. But if you don't, I find it hard to believe that this will be worth your time. Except for Miyano's performance as the producer. That alone might just be enough to be worth your time. Watch if you haven't showered in a week. Please Don't Bully Me Nagatoro is this season's victim of Twitter abuse. Twitter just makes no sense to me at all. Somehow they didn't make a big deal out of the one rape scene per episode show, but despise Uzaki-chan for having boobs and Nagatoro for being tanned. Like, come on. At least hate her for being a cringe normie. Story-wise, Nagatoro isn't anything groundbreaking. It's very similar to something like Takagi-san or Uzaki-chan, but taken to the extreme, going from just teasing to borderline bullying. However, it does bring up very important philosophical questions like, is the verbal abuse and years of therapy really worth it if she's cute? My man seems to have found this answer. What this show does have is that for a slice of life comedy, it is very well produced. It has some pretty solid art and animation. Like, they didn't have to turn her into a Beyblade, but I'm very happy they did. Watch this if you enjoy slice of life comedies, specifically Takagi-san or Uzaki-chan. Another day, another glorious victory for Sun Magnolia. You see, the Republic of Sun Magnolia is at war. Yet, because of their new unmanned drones they use for warfare, not a single casualty has been reported in years. At least, that's what the public believes. The truth is, there is no such thing as a bloodless war. Behind every drone is an 86, a citizen of the non-existent 86th center, a citizen of the non-existent 86th sector of the Republic. The 86 are not seen as humans and therefore do not count as a casualty. Lina is a commander in charge of an 86 unit and seemingly the only one who thinks of them as more than just tools. The 86 hate their oppressors and find joy in making their commanders' lives miserable, driving multiple of them into committing suicide. 86 has an interesting premise, good art, great directing, impressive CG, and it's just very solid overall. On top of that, a second season had already been announced before season 1 even started, which more often than not is a good sign for what is to come. Yet I can't help but feel like something is missing. You know, something special. Something to really draw me in. Something that can seal the deal from— Wait. Hold up. Go back a little. What was that? Let's go, dude! Watch if you have ears! It's not over yet. What am I doing? There are still like 4 or 5 anime that I wanted to talk about, so I'm just going to speedrun those. You might be wondering, why are you doing it like this? Like, why can I see your face? Well, first of all, this is easier to edit. Second of all, this way I feel less like a voice and more like a person, making you more inclined to follow me on Twitter. And lastly, this is easier to edit. This is so fucking script. Like, I'm doing this without a script, but it should be fine because, you know, we're like 14 minutes in and most people click off after 30 seconds anyway. Yeah, first of all, there's Tokyo Revengers. Tokyo Revengers is shit erased. Next up, that may be a little bit harsh, but there's this episode 0, and episode 0 is literally just episode 1 to 3 speedrun any percent. It literally ruined the entire thing for me, so, you know, I can't watch it anymore. There's also this. I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level. You know, the title says it all. It's 7.3 rated, like, you already know if you like it or not, just by the title alone. Full Dive, the ultimate next-gen full dive RPG, is even shittier than real life. Also, not even 7.3 rated, like, come on. What do you want from me? The rom-com where the childhood friend won't lose. Again, title says it all. It's 7.3 rated. You know, I think this might just be clickbait. Yes, the childhood friend may not lose, but I'm pretty sure she will like lose her life. And lastly, there's this. I haven't seen it. It's written by the author of Konosuba, meaning that I should probably watch it, but come on, like, it's 7.13 rated. I've watched like 18 anime for this video, like, give me a break. And yeah, that's basically it, to be honest. In conclusion, is spring 2021 just as good as winter 2021? No. But it's close though. If I had to say, the top 3 would be To Your Eternity first, then Vivy second, and then third either this or this. It depends, right? It depends on where it goes from here. And yeah, that's basically it. If you want to help me unscuff this channel, then you can do so by supporting me on Patreon, like these people. Who knows what I'll do with the money? You know, I might just buy a camera. You know, maybe I'll buy a webcam. You know, maybe I'll stop filming with my 4-year-old phone. You know, maybe I'll replace my 20-euro microphone. Who knows? You know, who knows? You know, maybe I'll even buy a pop filter.